I was born in Soviet Union, and that's probably the foundation of me trying to get a better life. Even if you're well known in Ukraine and well known on, specific like industry, etc., as soon as you go to the new country, people don't care about who you are. You have to build everything from scratch. Get in, talk to the people, understand their needs. Try even small things such as like, oh, let me connect you with this, guy, or let me connect you with this company, or this is my advice to you. The best sale pitch, it's when it's not a sales pitch.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Founders Stories, where I'm joined on the couch by Paul Ryazanov. Thank you, Paul, for joining me today.
Thank you, Donna.
I have been particularly excited about this episode. I think you're an interesting person. I think the business is very interesting, but I think you're slightly more interesting than the business. So before we get into you and who you are, let's talk about MageCloud. Tell us a little bit about the company, what you guys do, and the problems that you solve.
We started initially as a platform as a service, like a hosting business, when we helped founders 10 years ago to launch e-commerce website with no technical knowledge. So we launched a platform when you can pick up some themes, and then eventually we transitioned into being like a digital agency when we handle all the technical or UI UX needs for the founders. We understand now that launching e-commerce website on different platforms, that's no longer the issue. So anyone can launch the website. It's more about making the website convert, making website stable during the spikes, etc. That's the real demand right now. And most of the businesses, they might already have website and they need help with just optimizing this ongoing. So that's what we do for a living. Okay,
so you're basically a payment platform that sits behind the website and enables that website to have the power to trade.
I'm going to say hosting platform rather than payment platform, because the payment platform is usually like they use Stripe, PayPal, whatever other stuff. So the hosting platform plus this all the services that on top of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Understood. And what types of clients are you working with?
So typical, it's SMB, it's e-commerce businesses that generates about 1 to 10 million a year from the website alone, right? So it's a big, and honestly, it's a big market in the UK, and we also do business with US, Australia, so we kind of, and some Europe as well. So we international, worldwide. So, but all the markets with where English is the first language, that's what we're trying to support, yeah.
And how old is the business now?
Well, we started in 2014. Eventually, and so right now we're almost 11 years old. Nice. We're growing. We're probably overgrown a little bit our name. So in the next year we plan a good rebranding as well. That
spoiler. I love a spoiler on Founder Stories. So you're going through a rebrand next year, and is that just because you've outgrown kind of the startup, I suppose, as it were, and you're now kind of growing up?
It's more about the level of the services that we deliver, right? Like in 10 years, so many technologies, in place, and so many new markets, and with AI being now a big thing, right? So your brand needs to represent you, or at least what I'm gonna say, not slowing you down. So that's why probably the first advice for the founders, when you trying to find the company name or build the company name, try to build something on your own. I think one of the mistakes, it's not kind of mistake, but probably the company name MageCloud was so much around the technology, like Magento as e-commerce platform, when right now, after the 10 years, this name became the slowdown, or like very much like a bottleneck of what we can do.
I get it.
So
right,
I'm really proud of the new name, which we decided to work with, which is Commerix, which we're basically like trying right now just to put our own brand when we can do pretty much anything. Like if I want to, and again, it's not necessary about the IT anymore. So I'm trying right now with a new name. I'm just like, if I want to compete with Nike and have a new brand of the shoes, Commerix might work. If I want to do commercial real estate, Commerix still might be part of it. If I want to, go into the space, then Commerix might be a good fit. So try, when you trying to find your niche, try to find something which is not relying on the specific location or the specific brand that's already exists in the market. So I think that's one of the
really good advice, actually. And I'm reeling off in my head the companies that I've worked with or that I know that have kind of maybe fallen down that pit hole where they are a little bit pigeonholed by an industry or an ICP or our technology, like you say. And actually what you've done is you've broken away from that and now enables you to build anything, anywhere.
I can tell you a fun story. So our company, MageCloud, which is registered in the States, and we have magecloud.net as the domain name. And I was trying to get magecloud.com now for years. And there was one guy who owns it, he asked for 50 grand and I offered 25. He did not sell it. And now a couple of years after, I'm just like, okay, thanks. I'd probably
Thank
say,
goodness.
I just registered for whenever I remember, $17, a new name. That's it.
And you've got your new name.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And another learn as well. Let's not get 100%. Too hung up on spending so much money on a domain, but actually you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years' time. It might be very, very different. So I think that's a really good piece of advice as well. And so you said you operate globally.
Yeah.
You're the CEO of the business. You're a techie, right? You come from a technical background.
Yeah, I'm a database engineer myself.
Yeah.
It's the foundation. That's how I came into the industry, being a PHP developer, and then organically grew up into the project management role. And then from the project managers, I was the guy who was probably told, back in the day it was MSN, Yahoo Messengers, etc. Skype was just something that came in, and then voice calls. So my English was a little bit better than the rest of my team. So that's how I can get into the marketing and sales. So
excellent. And so you're a global business. You're based in the UK. You're not based
in the UK. We have a small office here in Chester. A few people who basically do sales and marketing on the local area. We had to shut down our office in Denmark because again, you have to understand the market, you have to understand the culture. That's another big loan for me.
You're the gift that keeps giving today, Paul. You're already reeling these bits of advice off.
Well, 25 years of my experience eventually in this helps. And I used to live in the States at some point with the previous business that I was involved with. So I can understand how market works in US, UK. Was a new things for me, but we're growing, we're stable, we're pretty exciting of what the future will bring us.
And quite a big business now, right? You're over 40 people, right?
Yeah, 40 people, and it's kind of remote. And Ukraine, we still have a good foundation in Ukraine, technical engineers. But we have guys in Europe as well, and obviously ourselves in marketing being here in UK. Okay. It's a good stuff, and the time zone difference worked quite well for UK businesses and after the COVID, people work remotely most of the time, and me being here helps me to visit the clients for ongoing planning, etc., giving them extra piece of security or trust into what we can deliver.
So I'm interested to know how you got where you are today. So you're Ukrainian.
Yeah.
And you spent some time living in the States.
Yeah.
So when did you actually move from Ukraine? Did you go from Ukraine to the States?
So my the original company that I used to work for, Quartsoft, when I joined as a developer and then became a project manager and sales guy, and the director of business development. I moved to the state as well. That's again pretty good business, software, development, etc. And then unfortunately, in the States, there's one of the lesson that I've learned so much, in the hard way. So when I moved to United States, we picked up a Silicon Valley as a destination because we were doing custom development, and I was and we were pretty good and acquiring new clients. And I was thinking, okay, as soon as I'm there, I should be easy just to get in. But eventually, that's what I learned. Once even if you're well known in Ukraine and well known on specific industry, etc., as soon as you go to the new country, people don't care about who you are. You have to build everything from scratch. So it was so hard. And I was thinking that with the level of investments and money that is in Silicon Valley, it will be very easy to get a new clients. And then I realized hey, there's so many, the competition there, it's so much higher.
Yeah.
And again, it will take you years to build trust and network of the people. So for me, going to the state, it was a good lesson. but it was also something like I've got a good punch,
Yeah.
in my face back when the market like basically told me like, Paul, you have to go back. And the war started in Ukraine. So I quickly realized myself that being a software engineer on the one plate, it's not enough.
Yeah.
You have to go for, you have to understand not how to build the product, but how to market the product. So I've joined a different company called Promoter for digital marketing agency. So now I guess the big reason for our current success as a company, it's I have now two pieces of the puzzle. So I basically understand the technology piece, software, as well as how to market that.
Yeah.
And I can pre-screen the clients very effectively now just to see if I believe in the business or not. And that's the reason why we're now playing with e-commerce, because e-commerce, it's very easy to validate the idea. As soon as you have a traffic, if you've seen the conversion rate, and then you basically start producing the money from the first day. If the product is right and you've got a good fit.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've become two co-founders, but just you've got often I speak to companies where there's two co-founders. One tends to be more on the marketing and sales side, and one tends to be on the technical side. It seems as though you can wear both hats.
Well, so you're always trying to get people who's better than you, right? So my co-founder, he's way better in technology than me. So even I'm database engineer, but obviously he's way better than me. So he knows all this stuff. Even I can do some coding if I want to. But obviously my goal is right now just to be a representative of the company. I'm trying to build my personal brand, trying to kind of build a community as well. So beside of running the agency, you have to like the best sale pitch. It's when it's not a sales pitch. It's more about like, get in, talk to the people, understand their needs, try even small things such as like, oh, let me connect you with this, guy, or let me connect you with this company, or this is my advice to you. That works way better. And that's the reason why we started this, our e-commerce camp, meetups here in UK. Is building your brand. That's something that I'm trying to avoid, like my mistakes in United States and in UK. I'm trying to build this slowly, with passion, and I'm trying to flip our, my personal mindset into don't sell, just help.
Yes.
And then people will come.
People will come. It's so right. It's definitely my methodology as well. And interestingly, I had a guest, Mike Adams, on the podcast a few weeks ago, who has actually made a living out of connecting people. And we were talking about top tips for networking. And he was saying how the main rule at a meetup or a networking event is never, ever talk about your product or service. You talk, you help people, you have good conversations, you maybe talk about outcomes or problems that you solve, but you never go in and try and sell your product. And you're absolutely right, Paul, it's a slower burner, it takes a long time, but I believe that it's more effective than just constantly trying to shove your product or service down someone's throat every time you meet them. And you've also built a meetup business as well. What's it called again? Sorry,
e-commerce camp co UK.
E-commerce camp.
I don't call this as the business.
No.
So yeah, I mean, like business when it's generating the money. At this point, it's more. So what we decided to do is like we say, okay, if we're gonna be organizing events, if I will be organizing this, MageCloud, whenever agency, etc., running these events, people will know it's a sales pitch. So we come up with a different name, which is e-commerce camp. Pretty much, camp. People understand what is that, and so we don't even register it. It's just like a website basically. And as of right now, the way I'm still funding this on my own, but we do have a partner. So when you said like a rev share, etc., obviously we have partners who are helping us with this. So we have a bunch of their products, etc. But we obviously run this on our own rules. When we say, guys, please come to the event, but don't be salesy. Just, like kind of the beauty of it is if you ask your clients to come, your clients eventually will be your sales team. They will talk to other people that you will invite. They will, smile. They will, Paul, thank you for your work, etc. That's how you build the confidence in the other people's minds that you're the good guy. So, and again, like being Ukrainian, probably not the easiest because the mindset, like the mentality is slightly different with the UK. So I think we would not be that successful if we would not run this sort of community and, recommendations or even like talks when we invite our clients to have a talk at the conference. That's a proxy to my company also being part of their success.
Yeah. Yeah. And how does the e-commerce camp work? Do you have kind of regular meetups, like maybe once a month?
So when we try to find the niche, what do we want to be? So I always say, like, I would never make money on those events. So we don't have membership fees, all type of stuff. We organize, it's not like a breakfast when you go every single day. We have events only twice a year. It's basically, I just ask my clients, what do you want? And I said, we're always busy. And I'm always recommending, if you have time for the breakfast, just better go and have a breakfast with your wife, with your family. That will be way better for you, for your mental and stuff like that.
So next piece of great advice.
We just trying to avoid those breakfast thing. And we say, okay, twice a year, let's have a strategic planning. Twice a year for one day, like you have to find the time. If you want to meet with the founders, and you cannot even imagine how many founders, they feel lonely. They all go to those meetups and have a drinks or whatever. But they even like some of my clients told me, Paul, you know what? I feel so lonely. I don't have anyone to talk to about my business problem because my employees, it's not the best people to talk about my problems. I would rather speak with the same C-level, person in other company. I will explain my challenges and see if he can help me or guide me or we can brainstorm. So that's basically the reason why we do this twice a year, April, May, and then September, October.
Nice.
So yeah.
Fantastic. I love the twice a year thing as well. You're right. It's a bit overkill at the moment with lots of different meets, always something going on, and brilliant advice to, like, if you've got a free hour at breakfast, take your partner out for breakfast. Like, that's probably something that's going to serve you more than just constantly going to business breakfast, looking for something that maybe is not always there, and just doing it every now and again is probably a better strategy, I would imagine.
100%. But we still have a breakfast today when I'm in London. So just message if people is around. They will always come. That's it.
I love that mentality. So Paul, talk to us about your background, kind of how you ended up doing what you've done today, kind of what kind of type of child were you, student were you, like how did you get to where you are now?
I was born in Soviet Union, and that's probably the foundation of me trying to get a better life eventually, right? So my parents, it's pretty much like a Soviet Union, engineers, and my mom, it's an economist. So in computer science, it used to be brand new. The first time when I get my computer, I was already in the university, right? So it's a long time ago. So, but I think computer science, that's what drives me quite a bit.
Okay.
It's not even about the gaming. I was just like enjoying writing the code. So in the school, I was a good student, in the school as well. In university, I have whenever red diploma, whenever how it's called here, I don't know, like a pretty good student. I've got couple of in Ukraine there is some computer science tournament which I was part of it and won some second place, I think, and a third place as well. So pretty good at school, but I guess back in the day, web development was not such a big thing. So you had right now, developers, and again with the race and AI might be different, but developers, they always know which framework they want to do. Back in the days, I was doing everything. So ASP, Perl, whenever Flash, etc. All the technology, whenever makes you the money, just do it. Learn fast, adjust it. That's what I think nowadays. Developers, they, and maybe it's a part of the education when the fundamental stuff in the computer engineering are not longer there. And with AI and all the modern techniques right now, I think a lot of people go into the computer science without a proper foundation in the background. Mm-hmm. So that's, I think, could be a problem in the future. But as an entrepreneur, as a sales guy, I was always selling. I was selling in school. So I've just when I wrote with my hands, I just wrote answers to exams and sell it in the school, like make the money. Again, that was not appreciated. It was not appreciated by the director of the school. So, but when the daughter of director just grabbed it from me, then I was catched, and it's like, you cannot do it. And I was like surprised. I was like, why not? Like,
Do you know what, Paul? We've had a lot of the founders on this show that have all had little businesses at school, and because they've had that kind of early signs that they're going to be an entrepreneur. And so a lot of people have sat there and said that they did a business at school. We've had chocolate bars, we've had t-shirts, we've had all. I've never known anyone selling exam results. So I think you trumped them there.
Well, so I mean, it was all legal. So if there's always like a book with the answers to exams. I mean, It's not like you are cheating, It's just you giving, like, you preparing in a nice material for them to study, etc.
Yeah.
But again, it was handwritten. My mom, she was working in the bank. She done like a scans and print, so this was fun.
Yeah.
So being entrepreneurial, it start from, like, does not matter what you sell. If you talk to people, and even if it's a veg stuff, like, because back in the day in Soviet Union, it was really hard. And my mom, we've got like a piece of land when we grew up, like potatoes ourselves, and then selling them. Again, like, it does not matter what you're selling. If you capable of selling, that's it. It's just like a soft skills. That's the most important now.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. So you went through school, you kind of good student, towing the line, but also had this kind of other side to you as well that was maybe a little bit rebellious and a little bit kind of eccentric and entrepreneurial. And so what happened next when you kind of grew up a little bit and was faced with some decisions around the world of work? Which path did you take?
It was really, it was not my decision, to be quite honest. It was organic. So when I joined as a PHP developer, right, I was doing quite a bit of different things, different projects. And then there's one lady in Miami who she tried to build a website and selling real estates online, or promoting real estate online, should I say. And then one piece of this platform became popular, which is now known as a Klaviyo and stuff like that, email marketing thing. So for about, I think, 3 years, I was working on one single project just myself as a software engineer. And we basically start chatting, voice conversation, etc. And then again, the company realized that my skills of, my language skills, my soft skills, good enough, and then they basically promoted myself, and then as a project manager, because I want, like, I always try to be on top of the business rather than work for someone. Mm-hmm. That's probably the number one for me right now. It's to make sure that I'm so in the business and I'm able to bring my opinion or kind of try to change the way the business work, even if it's not my business. Now, probably I'm pretty much trying to give advice to a lot of my clients, but it's hard for me to work for someone. It's completely like, I want to make sure that whenever I do, it's on me and I have impact. Even if I'm losing something, it needs to be my mistake.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, some people are very comfortable of just work for someone, which is fine. Like, honestly, being a founder, it's really, really, like, I try to start my own company to be my own boss. At the end, I have right now 120 bosses. Mm-hmm. All of my clients, they all like equally can have access to my WhatsApp, etc. So it's very hard to scale as well. So maybe that's another mistake of, like a good friend of mine say, like, you should not be working in the business, you should be on the business, which is something that, like, my goal for 2026.
Yeah.
So it was organic growth, step by step.
Yeah. It's definitely easier said than done. And I don't know, I mean, you've got 40 people working with you now, and I assume they're not all in the tech. Some of them are working in sales, etc. So surely you're at that point now where you can take a little bit of a backward step from being at the coalface with your clients and actually start to pass that on to your team so that you can be more holistic and look across the business? Or maybe it's just to do with how you're wired. Maybe you have this just innate need to be absolutely in the thick of it, which I kind of feel might be the case with you. What do you think?
I need to try. I mean, like, I really enjoy every single conversation, every single chat. If there's a problem, I'm always on it, etc. But for the next year, this is kind of my plan. It's like split my week, split my time of very strategically. Okay, then you have one-on-one with one project manager. You have one-on-one with another project manager. Just go through his project, give him just opinion, give him feedbacks if he needs me. If not, let them run.
Yeah.
So it's a big one. The same with sales. The same with the marketing. Because right now I understand we as a company, we're quite stable, but at the same time, I can see that I became a bottleneck.
Yeah.
So I became a bottleneck of us, growing even further. And that's probably something that I realized just now. I need to go, I need to step out from this and let people run this company.
Yeah.
And they can always ask my support.
Yeah, I think that's a really difficult thing for a founder to do, particularly if you are wired in the way that you are as an individual, which is just being into everything and wanting to know how everything works. And it's even kind of when you've built products, you've always wanted to know what's going on under the bonnet. It's the same with your business. So it's quite a hard thing to do. But I think if you've got confidence in your people, if you've got the right people working for you, then like you say, the only way that you'll actually scale past a certain point is to let them run with it. But it's easier said than done. I do appreciate that. And is that kind of been the way that you've been kind of growing up as well? Have you tended to want to know everything that's going on all of the time and been constantly like switched on? Is that just who you are as an individual, do you think?
I think it's 100% about me wanted to be like engaged with every single point, at least till now.
Yeah.
It's just like probably when you're getting older and you refine a little bit your life and you realize that being in the game and constantly running and hustling, it has a different impact on your family, on your relationship and stuff like that. And like I have my kid right now, who's like one kid, 20 years old, thanks God, another one 5 years old. And now I'm just and he now grew up a little bit to the point when he needs me more. And I'm trying right now just to find a time of being a good father. I'm already a good father when like weekend, it's only for them. I used to walk in on the weekend. So now for me, weekend, it's only for the family. But I still realize that I can be way more successful as an entrepreneur in general when I can step out from one business and try to go into other markets and niches. So I never invested in the crypto. Why? Because honestly, I just building my own MageCloud, right?
Yeah. It's
so
easy.
you, as a founder, it's when you 100% focus on your business, which is cool, but at some point you might lose so many different opportunities. And that's not for everyone. I mean, you have to reach the level of income or build the foundation. So lucky me right now, when my team, they have my back, they like, I'm not talking with some of my clients for years.
Right.
And they still stay with us.
Yeah.
Which is good credit for my team. So now I think I'm in a position of trying to implement the same for other companies. I'm trying right now to be part of the investor network as well, when I can reinvest the money into the other businesses and just scale it out this way.
Yeah, which I think that's truly take away the first couple of years when everyone's just got to be so busy and you've got to wear so many hats. But at the stage that you're at now, I think your role should be exactly that, shouldn't it? It's like, where can we take this thing? Where else can we go? Can we reinvest some money? How can we grow? Can we take on new product lines? Can we, go into a new ICP or whatever. These are the decisions that as a founder, you need to have that breathing space and that headroom to be able to make. Very, very difficult when you're closing deals and talking to customer success team and you're in the thick of it. But it's great that you've already made that decision that next year, that's going to be the goal for you, is to take that much needed step back, not necessarily to go surfing or whatever, because you seem to be somebody that quite likes work, but it's just investing your time in a different way.
I think the key here is strategical decision is on you. The operation stuff, if you can find someone who will be doing that, that's probably the best possible scenario in the business.
Yeah. What challenges have you faced along the way, Paul? What have been the most challenging times of your life so far?
Oh, I think for Ukrainian, it's the war, because that's changed quite a bit, obviously. But in business, that's not being successful in Silicon Valley. That's really was one of the biggest dropped in my life. That's probably one of the reasons why I quit the original company, right? That I work for. But even with MageCloud, we've got quite a bit of different phases. At some point we were trying to raise the money, and we spent about 1.5 years trying to get there, etc., which was not successful as well. I mean, you always have ups and downs, 100%, and you have to be flexible with the way how you manage your business. You don't have to be afraid of moving into not a fancy way, like from hosting platform to the consulting. Just keep the business, stable. And another stuff, what I would probably recommend to the founders: don't sit on the same idea for long if you don't see this is working. That's one of the mistakes in Silicon Valley, especially when people talk to each other. Oh, that's a great idea. And then this guy probably already 5 years trying to build this idea. I was and then I'm always pretty much direct. If I don't like this idea, I'm gonna just tell straight away, move on.
Agreed.
Because life is short eventually. There's tons of ideas. It's execution. And if you see this business and not flying, in a couple of years, spin off, do something else.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, honestly, as of right now, we, like I said, as a business, we're stable. Right now, e-commerce a little bit down. So we're probably not on the spike as we used to be during the COVID. COVID helps it quite a bit. So I was thinking that I will be a 10 people agency, relaxed and calm. So we became 40. So right now it's more difficult to, and that's the reason for the rebrand, because we need to represent ourselves better. But we have a predictable revenue flow, all's good, thanks God. So hopefully my huge mistake still a little bit, in the future.
Yeah. So, and your development team still largely in Ukraine?
Still probably majority of our team is in Ukraine, but we are on the west side of Ukraine, so we're quite stable here.
Right, okay.
We have an office over there, but people work right now remotely. We have quite a bit of people in EU as well, in different countries. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about that. So it's all stable right now, so we're all good.
But you mentioned that was a particularly difficult time for you personally as well, and I'm sure business-wise and personally, because that's you're from the area. And talk to us a little bit about that and kind of the challenges that you face then.
So my company, obviously, in the first few months when that started, a lot of clients, they were afraid. Okay, what's going on? So that was tough time for me. I have to be always on the call. I basically for the first 2 weeks, I sent to all of my clients daily updates. What's going on? That was really, probably the smartest way of me being open and honest, etc. Yeah. So I was like, okay, we're going into the basement, or hey, the internet connection. So what you're doing in your company to protect your clients.
Yeah.
All right. So our dev servers outside of Ukraine, everyone have like two different internet providers. So your developers always will be available. I will be available. This is my phone. If you want to call me, that's a backup phone. Always like that. Because we are working with the SMBs. It's not like enterprise.
Yeah.
Enterprise, they have a different risks management and stuff like that. So that's probably right now a very tough time for Ukraine software engineering, when big organizations, they moving development outside of Ukraine a lot, just because like everyone supports, but when it comes to risk for their own business, just say sorry. Quite a bit of clients that we worked with, they said, Paul, you know what? I support you guys. I still want to work with you. You helped me quite a bit, but I need to get some engineers in-house. And I said, that's fine. I get, as a business owner, I understand what like they needs. And I said, if you want me to interview technical engineers for your company, I'm happy to do that. And would just be a plug as well. And again, that's reduce the income for me as an agency, but that helps the business to feel more confident that he's protected, which is, again, you have to adopt. As a company, every single moment you have to adopt. Any challenge you will face so many challenges. It's the question how you react.
Yeah.
And right now, I think the biggest things for me, I'm always putting myself into the customer's shoes. What would I do when we do when the client asking me to, let's say, create certain functionality on the website? I'm always trying to, and when we price it, I'm always in my mind, will I be paying this money to get this feature on the website, my own? So, right now, like I realize myself that being as a software engineer and marketer, that's not even enough. And that's why I put a little bit of efforts into cabin luggage co UK. So I decided to go, if I want to work with the merchants, I need to understand the entire flow. That's why we started with the founder Will. We started Cabin Luggage Co UK, which helps me to understand what happened after the order will be placed on the website, the fulfillment, whenever taxes, all the type of stuff. So I'm getting knowledge now just from inside of the e-commerce.
So you've actually joined a business as a co-founder? Or as a CTO? So
as a CTO, and I mean, this is great family. They have their own business, Pen Shop Co UK, and we had it, and they helped me to get into the UK based on the Home for Ukraine program. So again, it's a funny story. Like we applied for US visa as well, so we've got US visa, and then we applied for Home for Ukraine with one of my client, we were chatting about like life, etc. And he said, I want to start a new business. I need to get a loan from the bank. And I said, listen, you don't have to have a loan. Let me just like kind of join. It was interesting for me. I want to join. I wanted to join e-commerce business just to understand. Yeah. And so that's another stuff like for founders. During my entire career, small meetings with people that you never even imagine, will help you. All those small meetings, coffees, etc. Somehow it's all connected and help you with your business. Like the guy who I created a software which is basically do DVD game rental. The guy messaged me trying to build a website, and it turns out that he was chief investment officer of East One Group, which is the huge investment group in Ukraine. So he just had a side hustle messaging me. And then I realized that, okay, the guy who's behind the Gmail address that he emailed me, from, he's actually like the second person of the large investment group in Ukraine. And those small things, during my career helps me to go with the right connection. So if you're the founder, go ahead for the breakfast. Don't overtake it too much. Like if you're the founder that just go for the breakfast, then probably not. Then not the big stuff. But go for the podcast, be a guest, help people. If you meet so many people with intent to help, they will help you back.
100%. I'm so with you on that. I think sometimes you just do things just because. There's no reason, there's no end to the sentence. Do them because, and that's the end of the sentence. And I'm a big believer in that. And I always try, even when it's cold and dark and I've been working all day and there's a meetup and I've had no meetings in London, so I have to make a special trip out, unless there's something really, really important that's stopping me from going, in my mind, I'm like, just go. Because, and don't go with any agenda, just go because the accumulation of these things is what actually builds the business, not the sales calls or the other stuff. It's this accumulation of doing things just because it's the right thing to do. I'm so with you on that one. And I think obviously you're a success story now from always going out there, talking to people, trying to help people. And you've built a really sizable business that's now moving on to its next phase of evolution into what I'm sure will be a hugely successful business. I love the fact that you've also got a bit of a side hustle, so that you're constantly living and breathing the process that your main company supports. That's really clever. And I'm sure that kind of doing that investment as well is that kind of giving back, isn't it? That, they help you, you help them. And that's the way to kind of go through life, I suppose, isn't it? Just kind of helping each other.
I would say for me right now, like helping other people, it's something that inspires me from Silicon Valley mindset. When people willing to take a coffee with you and give you the feedback, knowing that you cannot give them anything, so
nice.
Giving without expectation anything in return, that's probably the best thing that you can do in your life.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a lovely point to start to think about the future for you now. And how, well, obviously you've given us a window into what's next for MageCloud. You're going to do this rebrand. What's the name of the company, sorry?
Comerix.
And that will propel you into a new stratosphere. And probably in 2 years' time, you wouldn't dream of coming on my podcast. But what's kind of the plan for you? I know you're trying to be more holistic in your approach to business. You're already a very dedicated family man as well. So what does the next kind of year look like for you on a personal and a business level?
Personal, spend more time with the family. That's number one. Go back and look up for your health. That's probably now at 45. That's a time to kind of pay attention to this. So in terms of the business, trying to rebrand, number one. Number two, find out other businesses which is very potentially relevant to what we do. Try to help them, maybe join in some of those businesses, not only full time, but as an investor, advisor, whenever a partner, etc. Because I be transparent with you. If I would be starting a completely new business now, I would not start an agency. Mm-hmm. It's very much crowded right now. Mm-hmm. Even e-commerce as a niche is very crowded. So many agencies trying to target. So what we are going to do, it's obviously, I'm going to think about the next level, how we can utilize AI as well. So, and look out for other e-commerce brands who want to start something. So that's how with the cabin luggage. So basically, we operate as a technical partner when client does not have to pay us anything. It's all on us. So I'm probably going to look up for 5-6 companies like that with a good potential and join them as a CTO, take care of all the technical things and kind of split the risk. As soon as you take the risk, they're willing to work with you. Yeah. And that's probably what will differentiate us from other agencies as well.
Yeah. And what a great go-to-market strategy as well. You're actually infiltrating these companies and getting in them and working with them and building such strong partnerships that go beyond the normal realms of a partnership, which will eventually have revenue. So it's a really clever way to do it. I'm sure that you've thought this out, and I'm sure that it will be hugely successful. I really hope that you manage to get more time for yourself and your family. You mentioned about kind of self-care and taking care of your health and things like that. I completely agree with that as well. We need to definitely, when you get to a certain age, it is time to just make sure that you're not trying to burn the candle at both ends anymore. So, and that can take time, right? That takes time out of your day as well. It's quite a commitment to say, to look after yourself, even if you're not into the gym. Just movement and fitting that into your day can be quite a challenge. So what's kind of your chosen poison there? Are you going to be running? Are you more of a gym kind of guy?
So it's actually like I've done 10K in Chester this year. I went with 22 kilometers run as well, but I'm lacking consistency.
Yes.
So I think right now from being like, okay, this 1 month, etc. Does not matter what you do. Mm-hmm. Is it running or training or going to the gym or whenever? It's just the consistency. That's what makes a difference.
Definitely.
Even if you do it at house.
Yeah. Consistency, accountability. I think people always are obsessed with the type of training. Oh, what do you do? Do you do high rocks? Do you do running? It actually doesn't matter. As long as you're moving around consistently and habitually, then it actually doesn't matter what your body doesn't discriminate between the types of exercises. If your heart rate is up and you're out of breath, then your body will love you for it. So but I wish you the best of luck with the rebrand. Let's stay in touch. I'm sure that if there are any e-commerce businesses that would like to have a chat with you, you'd be more than happy to speak to them. They can contact you on LinkedIn, right?
They can contact me. My name is very easy to remember, Paul Ryazanov.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue, Paul. Really is. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, it will be in the link as well, so they can link in with you from there. And I'd recommend that they, at the very least, come to one of your meetups.
Yeah, our meetups is a really amazing place.
Yeah.
And it's not about me; it's about my clients. I'm not talking with there. I'm not speaker. I'm not trying not to promote myself. I'm just trying to give a value.
Yeah, which I'm sure that you do. You're very genuine. Paul, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you for
been
having me.
Absolutely lovely. I look forward to following the rest of your journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much.